Happy Saturday. I'm on my way to work. A blast. I'm almost there, so it's just a little side road. Excuse me. So I thought I'd come on real quick and just give you an update on my move to California. So a little bit background on that. Excuse me. So some people are like, well, are you and your husband breaking up? Is this happening? No. So what happened is I got an amazing opportunity to take a 9-month travel job at a very small rural school, mostly an Indian population. And I absolutely love learning about new cultures and stuff. I love it. And so when I learned about this new adventure and stuff, my husband and I talked, and we were like, I feel like I have to take this. So I feel like it was just put in my lap. Like, I don't know, I'm super excited about it. So we are obviously going to keep our home, which means we will still have a mortgage in Arizona, in Tucson. My husband will stay there with our 3 little dogs, and my 18-year-old is obviously still living there. And then I, myself, for the first time in over 23 years, because my oldest son is 23, will move 16 hours away from my family, which is super hard for me because I am very close to my children, and it's not just calling and stuff. Like, it's going to be very hard not to see my kids. So my husband will be coming up to visit once or twice a month. But, my oldest has a baby coming in November. My middle son is finishing up college. My youngest son has a new job. So they're not going to be able to come up as much. So when I leave, well, next month, but next week, in August, I will not be back and see my children again until November. And that is really hard for me because, I'm a huge family person. I've never been away from my family for this long, ever. I know I can do it. I know it's going to be super sad, but my husband and I have a lot of things planned. Like on Sundays, we usually all watch football together. So my husband, he bought me an Apple iPad. My phone is a Samsung, but he bought me an Apple iPad so that I can still play like the games with my kids, like ping pong or beer pong, whatever, all these different games I can play with them so I can still kind of interact. And then also I have my iPad tablet so that on Sundays when I'm watching football at my house without anyone, my husband's going to be watching football with either my youngest and my dogs or whoever's there, and we're just going to keep our iPads going all day. Not all day, but for a little while, so that we kind of feel like we're together. So we kind of have it a little bit worked out. Obviously we'll have to tweak and adjust a little as we go. So as of right now, the stress has been so bad from everything in this past month. As many of you know, my father's house burned down, and he is out of the hospital. He is doing well. They are still investigating the cause of the fire. He is living at a friend's house, I guess, does not want to come to Arizona, so that's up to him. So I had that. I've had this whole thing. This trying to get a license in California has been my downfall. Like, I have broke down so many times. Stress causes my CREST syndrome to flare up, so my joints have been aching, my breathing has been bad, I've been extremely tired, but I haven't been sleeping at night. And then, if you saw my community post, today is Saturday. Yesterday, for Friday, we found out that my husband applied for a job on Indeed, and it was a scam. And so they happened, in the application and stuff, they took all of his information and scammed, took $8,500 out of my husband's account, which now the bank is like, well, we don't know, we'll have to let you know. They're going to investigate, which I hope they will, but I don't know if we're going to get it back. As of right now, his account is frozen. That's $8,500. It, every single one of our bills comes out, his direct deposits go in there. So he had to try to change his direct deposit. He had to change all of our bills that come out. It's a mess, you guys. It's the worst thing in the world. We had to put something on his credit, on his social security number, a fraud thing on there. It's horrible. I'll let you guys know about all that because it was through Indeed, which is a very reputable company. But anyway, so I'll have another video about that. But all that's happening. And so then last week, about almost 2 weeks ago, my husband and I, due to the whole fingerprint process in California, they like you to get it through live scan, which is only in their state. They only want you to get it done in their state. My husband and I drove 5 hours one way, 5 hours home in the same day to go get my fingerprints done. And my hands, I've showed you guys before, always shake. They always haven't, but they always have since I became sick a couple years ago. The police department was very hot and sweaty. I'm always hot and sweaty. My hands are always clammy. We did our fingerprints. The thing dinged every time. So saying that they were good. So we leave, we pay, we leave, we come home. So I call the California Board of Occupational Therapy this last week and I say, hey, I'm just wondering, making sure we have everything, making sure, because again, today is Saturday. I am supposed to be starting work on August 5th, I believe it is. So, I mean, we're getting really close to it. We're getting really close. And they say that, well, your state's clearance came back, but the FBI is pending still. And I'm like, excuse me? Like, what happened there? You know, I'm like, what do you mean the FBI? So first of all, I know a lot of people say, well, there's nothing in my past. But I Googled why the FBI would be like holding up your fingerprints. And it's literally like drug charges, armed robbery, bank robbery charges. And I'm like, kidnapping. And I'm like, yeah, I think I would remember if I would have done any of those. So I'm panicking because I'm like, well, wait. And there's like, well, it could take 1 day to a month to come back. And I'm like, whoa. Like, I've already told my jobs I'm quitting here. I'm already supposed to start there. I've already put a down payment. It's a mess. So this is going to sound weird, but it's kind of weird. So the other night, my sister was texting me and I was half asleep and she was at home. She lives in Texas and I live in Arizona. So she said, like, don't forget about Christmas. And I know this has nothing to do with it, but it's absolutely hilarious that this has happened. So this was like a week ago. So she said, don't forget about Christmas, try to make time. And I said, oh, I know, I'll be there and ready, or something I had written. And so then she sends me back a message, who's going to Ukraine? And I was like, what? Nobody's going to Ukraine. She's like, there's a war over there, you're on your own. And I was like, what? I don't know why. First of all, I don't know why I'm telling you this part. But so for some reason, so I will hurry up, text, and send it. Like, people are like, your text didn't make any sense. I'm like, it sure did. And then I read it, I'm like, no, it didn't. But for some reason, a long time ago, when I started pushing, when I put tomorrow in, gonorrhea would show up. Like, and I would send the text. So now it continues to pop up. So if I don't catch it, sometimes that's what sends. Which, first of all, I would like to point out, I've never had it, but whatever. So then I sent her that and she's like, what is your issue? You're going to Ukraine to get gonorrhea? And I was like, what is she talking about? So I kind of come out of it a little bit and I look and I'm like, what the hell am I writing? Like, what am I writing right now? So it's funny. So then I send this thing. I put to my sister, I put FBI ... Please don't think that I plan on going to Ukraine to get gonorrhea. I never plan on going to either or getting either. Thank you very much. Goodbye. And it was a joke. My sister's like, oh my gosh, you made me spit my wine out. And I was like, well, I just wanted to write that because I was watching an episode of Law and Order and some lady put something in her text message. And so the FBI flagged it and started following her, whatever. So it was literally a pure joke. So the other day when I find this out, I call my sister and I'm like, oh my gosh. And she's like, oh goodness. Sorry guys. And she's like, Amy, is that really what you called me for? And I was like, yeah. And she's like, I'm not talking to you about this. This is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. So, I mean, it's just, obviously I'm not dumb. You guys, I know that that's not what it was from, but it was just kind of weird. So now I'm like, but why in the world? So, I mean, to be in my job, I've always had to have a fingerprint background check, all this stuff. So when I talked to the first lady, she was unfortunately not really very helpful at the California Board of Occupational Therapy, you know, and nothing she was saying was making sense. So I was like, okay, thanks. So I hang up. So I try to call back. I get that lady again. So I said, well, never mind. So then I called the next day. So then I called Friday, which was yesterday. And I'm like, what in the world would hold up my fingerprint background checks through the FBI? Hold on one second. And so I said, what would hold it up through the FBI? And she said that usually what it is, if you know that there should be nothing on your FBI background, is a fingerprint smudge. And I said, what? And she's like, there could be a smudge. I said, no, but because it's not the ink kind, it's the like on a computer system, and it's like, I don't know, like you put your fingerprint on this, I guess, camera thing, and it dings and says your fingerprint is fine. And she said, yes, but that just like kind of does like a general fingerprint, but if it's smudged at all, the FBI does not want to smudge in it at all. And so I was like, wait a second, like that obviously makes more sense for me. And so I said, well, now what do I do? And she said, well, it's just a matter of them waiting. And I said, no, I can't wait. So she says, well, if you know for sure that it's not due to what's in your background, then you should go back, get another fingerprint done, and submit that one so that the FBI, because if it's not that I haven't done anything, then they're going to request it anyways. They're going to say, well, you have to go get your fingerprints redone because it's smudged. You guys, it's a 10-hour drive. It's a full day. So on Tuesday, I am going to have to drive back up to California and get my fingerprints redone. Like, this job thing, oh, I keep dropping, you guys. I'm so sorry. This fingerprint thing and California thing in general is a nightmare. It has been nothing but a nightmare. I truly hope that it's going to be worth it in the end, but it's a nightmare, and I have been so incredibly stressed about it. But again, I just want to be totally honest with you about it. So right now, I'm supposed to be leaving in 4 days, but I'm not sure because my FBI background check is on hold. Well, it's pending. It's not on hold. Let me just say it's not on hold, because I believe if it's on hold, like they really did find something. It is pending. So I'm going to look again on Monday on the site, and if it's still pending on Tuesday, I'm going to drive the 10 hours and go get it redone. So that's horrible. But anyways, I just want to let you guys know the update on what is happening. So again, today is Saturday. If all goes through, I will be leaving on Thursday. So my husband and I will drive on Thursday to LA, stay the night, and visit with his sister. I was going to visit with my son, but of course, my middle son, who lives there and goes to college, will actually be in Arizona. So we will drive to LA, which is 8 hours. It's a halfway point. And then the next day we will drive the 8 hours on Friday. I'll get to my apartment, and he will stay with me Saturday just to help me get situated. But I do have to say, I feel so much better about this move. I talked to the lady that I'm renting my place from yesterday. Her and her husband seem like the most amazing people. She was like, well, we'll be as friendly as you want us to be. We have a lot of places that travelers stay at. We know you don't know the place. She said, there's no shopping here. I said, oh, wait, there's no what? No? She said, oh, it's very small. You're going to be very bored. And I was like, wait, go back to the other part. And she's like, yeah, I'll show you like the town you can shop in, but there's nothing here. And I was like, well, that sounds like a lot of fun. But anyways, on the positive side, because I always try to think of something positive, little towns, I feel like have a lot of like events at Christmas time. I'm super excited about that. Okay, so my phone is obviously saying get off of it. But yeah, so I'm super excited about that. I really want to see, I feel like they will have parades and stuff like that. And again, like I said, this lady was like, we will be as friendly or not friendly as you want us to be. If you just want us to be your landlord, we won't ever bother you, but if you want me to show you around town. And she seems like she's like in her 50s or 60s, and she's a midwife. She seems super nice. So that really kind of gave me a little bit more like if I ever need anything, like they will be there. Like, not, I won't need anything, but I just mean like at least I'll know someone. So anyways, guys, that's my update. It's a mess. Everything is insane right now, but you know, like there's a light at the end of the tunnel somewhere. So I hope that you guys have an amazing day, and I will talk to you later. Bye, guys.